The same happened on this situation, which was specifically polemic. I'm going to give you the different versions or interpretations of the story. On one side, President at that time, Jose Mujica, known in the world as the poorest president in the world, for donating a big part of his salary on charity and other actions, decides that denying addictions is not going to take society further, and therefore wants to make sure that on one side trafficking is controlled and that we know especially what young people are consuming, and he says that he wants to make sure that people do not start consuming transgenic cannabis, and he says that it is better that people need to know what they are actually consuming instead of a kind of cannabis that's full of extra chemicals and all that, plus all the medicine, the medical reasons for using cannabis. So what he proposes is that on one side people may be able to grow their plants at home. You can have, I think it is up to 3 plants at home without being put into jail. According to what I've read, all this legal project also got started by a man who got into jail for smoking cannabis, and he says that he couldn't have gone through that ordeal without the support of his wife, who visited him every single Sunday and kept him in good spirits. And he vowed, or he promised that he would make sure that no young Uruguayan boy that is simply experimenting with it ends up in the hell of a jail for that simple reason. So that's how the legal project gets begun. Now, many people oppose it. Many people think that it's promoting the addiction, while actually what they're trying to do is to keep track of how many users are through a list. If the project were complete, and if you are a user, you have to register yourself at Uruguayan drugstores, and they'll keep track of how much you're using, and they'll provide specific medical support if you're using too much and why you're using and all that. We never got to that stage, since our current president actually stopped the process. But on the other side, what remains from that is that people who want to use the plant, they'll grow it at home without problem. However, if you're caught up on the street or whatever, selling the herb or buying the herb, then you can be put into jail. And some misinformed people will get here and they go immediately to our counter and they want us to sell them cannabis on the port, right, straight away.
Oh.
And then that's a whole different situation. And I think that society, historically we've been a very conservative society, and all of a sudden we have this free Holland-like reputation. People don't mind because they're not used to it. They're not really used to being on the spot. I think it's simply like that. Over here is the soccer stadium, the local soccer stadium, which belongs to the municipality. Any team can play here, after following due procedure, of course. Uruguay has too much of a deep culture regarding soccer. Since we were the very first hosts for a World Cup, for a soccer World Cup, and after winning against Brazil in the 50s, people simply got obsessed with soccer. However, what I rescue from all this story is that Uruguayans highly value tolerance and respect. And if the Uruguayan soccer players are not respectful, they're not respected by people. This is bus stop number 10, corresponding to the local artisans market, just for you to know, right? And it is just 2 blocks down from Main Avenue Flores. Now in 5 minutes, we'll be getting to point 1 to start our walking tour in the historic area. The historic area is a part I recommend for lunch and everything. It's got beautiful cafes and restaurants. And as I said before, you can pay with any currency. As far as food is concerned, we have the same cuisine as Argentina. We are also the result of